This recording is to help you with your completion of your task for planning a field trip. This particular task requires you to work in groups of 4 or 5. If you are unable to work in a group of 4 or 5 or you prefer to work on your own, that will also be acceptable. The due date for this planning a field trip task is the 18th of May, which is Tuesday next week. So this is what's required in order for you to complete this task on planning a field trip. You are required to research a possible field trip for intermediate phase learners as a consolidation around a natural sciences and technology topic from the appropriate CAPS document and construct a written report to record your planning. And you need to follow the instructions given below. So firstly, the IP document that you will be using, please make sure that you are referring to the correct CAPS document, and it is the intermediate phase grade 4 to 6 natural sciences and technology CAPS document. And from that CAPS document, you are allowed to pick any topic that you would like to discuss for this particular field trip or link your field trip to. So point number 1 under instructions is to list the topic that you get from your CAPS document and then provide the corresponding page number from the CAPS document. So you need to do both. So you need to give us the topic as well as the page number. So you need to ensure that you are following the correct document, which is the IP document for this task. Point number 2, provide the names of 3 possible venues of interest where the topic that you have selected can be consolidated. So in order to get the 3 marks, you need to make sure that the 3 possible venues of interest that you select has to link to the topic that you've selected. Point number 3, choose one venue that you have already listed in point number 2. So from the 3 that you've listed for question 2, pick one from there for question 3 and then do the following. Work out the cost, so include the entrance fee as well as an estimated transport cost for your learners. If you are physically taking them on this trip to the venue, remember there are also costs that can be incurred if this is done as a virtual tour. So due to COVID, if you have decided or you found something interesting on the internet that allows you to do a virtual tour, there are still costs that can be incurred if you're going to be doing it that way. Point B, links to the curriculum. So natural science and technology concepts, and include a description of the extension activities you would use to teach these concepts then in class. So this has 6 marks here in brackets. If you could think of maybe 3 ways or 3 activities that you could use, and then by explaining it, that's how you'd get the remaining marks. So if you think of 3 extension activities and include the description for how you would teach it, it'll be 2 marks allocated per activity. So you need to be detailed with your explanation for each extension activity in order to get 4 marks there. Point C, safety measures to be considered. So if you're physically taking your learners on this trip, what are the safety measures that have to be considered? Point D, submit sample information of brochures, pamphlets, and any other relevant material that provides further information about the venue as part of this task. And you can attach this to your completed task at the end for 3 marks. That would be any attachments that you'd like to add there. And this task is to be submitted via the portal created on ECI. And you have a total of 20 marks for this particular task on planning a field trip. If you're working on your own, then you have to complete all of these instructions on your own. If you're working in a group, you can decide with your group members how you want to share the questions so that each individual within the group contributes a certain amount of work to the group in order to complete this. So if you're working in a group, then one person can upload the task on behalf of the group, but please make sure that you include all group members' names as well as their student numbers, and please also provide your campus, which campus you're from. That will also make it a lot easier. So please follow these instructions to help you with the completion of this particular task on planning a field trip. If you are unsure of anything, please feel free to email your campus lecturer or myself, the MC for the module, which is Leandri Modley.